Welcome, everybody, to the Mighty Nerd Podcast, brought to you by Gary Busey. Have you been fucked up in a car crash? Well, call Gary Busey. You might still be able to do movies. On topics today, we have Rise of Ronin.
Imagine you're like in a car crash, and you call him, he just bites the door off the car.
Damn.
Like pulls it as like the jaws of life, but with his mouth or something.
Crazy.
Joined with us today is me, Solid Snarf, FistTruck,
Hi.
and HeyyyyyTony.
What's up?
I think we got like 3 topics today. We're going to talk about Payday 3, their dude step down, not Ghost of Tsushima,
Rise of the
Ronin. I haven't played Rise of the Ronin, so that's my extent of it's looking like that game. But I know it's not. And Dragon's Dogma 2, which we'll leave for last because I'm sure we can talk about that for the rest of our lives. Payday 2, their director dropped out, right? CEO?
Yeah, Starbreeze, the CEO, whose name escapes me, but it was definitely something of that what was sort of Scandinavian origin. He stepped down because Payday 3. I'm not gonna say because like if it's a 1-to-1 thing, but he stepped down because Payday 3 is in the shitter. He hopped on board when Starbreeze was kind of like at their lowest point, so I think this was following the really really dog shit Walking Dead game that came out. Sorry, which one?
The first person one?
There are multiple ones. It was a first person one. It came on like 2018, I think. It was it was called
wasn't Clementine, was it?
No, that's the Telltale ones.
Okay.
It was specifically called Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Okay. Overkill.
And it was it was a co-op Walking Dead game in the style of something like not exactly like Payday, but along those same like co-op shooter lines.
Mm-hmm.
It was total gutter trash. And then following that, I think he got on board maybe shortly either before that game came out or afterwards, and kind of like got shit in check so they could kind of focus and get things back in line, because there was this whole other that I don't know, it's like going down the rabbit hole with that company where they were like on the verge of going under because of some like really shady legal money shit, but then they kind of pulled through, so he kind of I guess was that guy to helm that change. Payday 3 came out September, right, last year or something.
Yeah.
It sucks, or it does suck, but it's
a departure.
Yeah, I remember. And I wouldn't say so. So like I played it the day it came out. It didn't work, so I didn't play it. And then like 3-4 days later, I tried playing it again. It worked. So now it's just, and pretty much the gist of it is like, it's a nicer looking Payday 2.
So basically, it could have been something that they just did an update on.
Yeah, like there's some like tweaks, but it's just a nicer looking Payday 2 with no content. And then as opposed to Payday 2, which has like mountains and mountains of content. So what happens is that everyone goes back to Payday 2, so you'll have like Steam concurrent player counts or whatever. Like I don't know what it's at currently, but I know at some point it was like Payday 3 had 150 players or something like that, and at the same exact time Payday 2 had like 14,000.
Oh wow.
So you could tell where everybody went. And the thing is that some of the content they're adding, like I saw some of like the trailer stuff, and some of the content they're adding are just old jobs prettied up. So for example, I don't know how well you guys remember the cooking meth job, but that was like big buku bucks. You would spam, or at least I remember specifically spamming that job, just making a shit ton of meth because it was really easy to do. It was really easy to survive, and it made a lot of money. So
was it the one at the docks?
No. But they brought that one back too.
Oh,
They brought that one back too.
Fucking
The dock
it was
mission that we
awesome.
played.
Well, yeah, the train. It was like the train yard type
Yeah,
shit. Is that what you're talking? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, but that's where I died most on that level.
Yeah, it was definitely hard. But they brought back that one back, and they brought back the meth house thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool, but also like once again, why would I bother coming here to play this when
Well, you
it's
can
already in
slide
Payday
now,
2?
right?
What?
You can crouch slide.
They're fixing it. Like they made a huge patch recently. The huge patch was called being able to play by yourself.
Oh, okay.
So my thing is, what were they thinking with this? Because if we dissect it, this game was in development for a while, was it not?
Potentially, probably like I would guess 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically you're using the same assets from the last. I don't know. Like Payday 2 did pretty well. I just don't understand why.
Payday 2 did really, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
keep in mind, it had 14,000 players on it, and that game came out in 2013,
Yeah.
Oh,
and it had 14,000 people on it, like a week ago or something.
well, that's impressive.
Yeah, for considering the kind of game it is, it's not like a
Right.
super live service type thing. Like they do update ad stuff, but it's not that same kind of thing. I just don't get why they thought it'd be cool, or like, I mean, clearly it must have come out. What I'm assuming is that it had to come out to meet a deadline or something, or like, yo, we gotta get this shit out now or we're toast. That kind of shit.
Have you played any of the other Starbreeze video games? Anybody?
Well, I mean, way back when, I guess, like with the Darkness and Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, they made those? They don't even have on their stuff on their front page.
They made the Chronicles of Riddick? Wow.
Yeah, Escape from Butcher Bay.
Yeah, that
way
was
back when. Way back when.
That was fun.
Yeah, like and technically, I mean, it's not Starbreeze, obviously, but a lot of people left Starbreeze and went on to make Foreign Machine games. So if you played the Wolfenstein games, the newer ones, those are the same people.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, and same, and then you have a lot of the, because the way the life works, then you have a lot of people who were in like Overkill, who I guess is like under Starbreeze for the Payday games. Left Overkill, I think, amongst all the bullshit that was happening with that company, like, however many years ago, and went out to make GTFO.
Okay.
And now they're working on something new.
So I think I have over multiple platforms, probably like 200, 400 hours on Payday 2.
Oh,
As much as I love that game.
yeah.
As much as I love that game, I always had the feeling, these developers that put out like AAA video games, but it just seems like it's not as AAA as it should be, or as high quality. It's just they capture something and it gets popular. I always felt like Payday 2 was that type of game. Like, it's a game that I invested a lot of time in, but I wouldn't say it's a AAA game, if that makes sense.
I don't think they would either.
Nowhere close to being a AAA game.
I feel, and like, more towards the side, like I relate it to like Dead Island developers, where it's like I feel like it's a cash grab almost. If that makes sense, does that make sense to you?
I can't say it's a cash grab. I think they wanted to improve upon what they had, but at the same time, in doing so, if you have all these issues with launch, you might as well just have made it. You could have added the new maps, new concepts, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, so I can't really just sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, you can slide. And and all of this other stuff in there. But if Call of Duty can take away slide canceling, and they can put in aspects of concepts into Fortnite does it, like you can, they can do it. It's possible to. So in that sense, you could have added more maps, could have added different heists, different variations of heists. You could have did a lot, but I just don't. That for that company to be like, oh well, it was cat. I don't think they were trying. We know companies.
I imagine it wouldn't be so easy to add shit in, especially considering once again how old Payday 2 is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're
Fair
dealing
enough.
with
You're not wrong. Fair enough. I
change.
forgot how dated it was. Yeah.
And so you're saying Payday as a whole is a cash grab?
I'm saying it feels like
Like they
one
hopped
of
on a
those-
bandwagon.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like some of these we'll say like there's Polish companies out there that keep on releasing like good looking games, but they kind of feel hollow.
Yeah, that's the
That's the kind of thing that I put
Yeah.
Payday 2 in, honestly. As much as I love it, as much as I like it, and even Dead Island, right? I
Dead
said
Island. Yeah.
I feel is one of those games also. It's like, hey, we promise you all these things. We put out a mid thing, and you either like it or you don't.
Man, that's every AAA studio, but that's standard.
But they're not. They never were AAA. Like, think the first Payday was like just a digital. I think it was on PC if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact it was just like a digital game on the PS3. Like it was a download only game. It was not that expensive. And then Payday 2 was like $40 when it came out.
Right.
It was never a AAA price. Even this one, the new one, was not $60.
But the argument being like if by that standard every AAA title for the
I don't know how to explain it.
They never been.
It's
The
just,
thing is that they never been AAA. That's what
Right.
I'm
right,
saying.
they've never been
Yeah.
AAA.
it's
Yeah.
just a feeling that I have. It's nothing concrete, nothing cement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stake my reputation or whatever on it. Don't take my word for it.
Well, I mean,
It's
solid.
just-
This is a game about robbing people. I mean, they got the concept right. They want to take money from your
Yeah,
pockets.
yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
what they're doing. Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any other. Have you played any other co-op game that does heists?
To
No.
that degree, no. The
No.
only other one is
Grand
GTA.
Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, their heists are super, super fucking linear. Like, it's just a set of missions that you follow. There's no creativity when
Right.
you do it. You have to follow the fucking steps. I've done them so many fucking times. Look at the first one, the Fleeka job.
I mean, you're
First-
not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
First,
yeah.
you have to case the joint, case the bank. You go to the bank. You specifically have to park in front of a certain spot in the bank. Otherwise, I forgot his name. The fucking, the dude with the cane. Forgot his name already. But, he's like, if you don't do it the right way, you fail. Or you have to repark and do it the right way. Then the second mission, you always have to go to the top of the garage, get the armored car, and then you drive. Even if you already own an armored car, you have to get that armored car specifically.
Right.
And then the third mission is you go and rob the bank, and it always plays out the same way every time. Like, it's always it's just a set of linear missions. Just the thing is that everybody has to perform their part. So it's like different. It's cool. I like it, but it's just different.
Yeah.
As opposed to Payday, where like you can go in guns blazing. You could be stealth, and sometimes they're like the multi I don't know what the multi-day jobs
Yeah.
where depending on what you do on earlier days determines how it plays out on later days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
I made
at least off the top of my head.
I
Go
made a
for it, sorry.
mistake of thinking that it's AAA. You're right. It's not a AAA game. So
Yeah.
with that lens, like I'm just trying to suss out like
Because like Dead Island was $60.
but that's like another
That
thing.
game
It's like,
sucks.
do I trust that company when they say, "Hey, we're going to put out the best game that we possibly can"? That's the comparison I'm trying to make. Like,
okay.
do I
All right,
trust
all
this
right.
company to say that they're going to put out the best game that they can? That's really what I'm trying to put forward here.
I get you.
And
Yeah,
I
no,
want to believe so because I loved Payday 2. And they've stated, they've come out and like straight up said, "Hey, we fucked up. We're gonna work on this." And I want to believe them, but it's like, are they that company? Like if Naughty Dog says, "Hey, we fucked up. We're gonna work on it," I have more faith in that than that company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Look at the console ports for Payday. Them shits are like ugly abandoned stepchilds.
Yeah. I played a lot on PS4.
I played on not the most I played, but when it came out, 360. Played 360 a whole bunch.
I started on 360.
And never got a single fucking thing. And then
I started on 360, then went to PC, and then the most I played was on PC and PS4 because everybody went crazy when it was on PS4. Like it was a newfound game or something.
Yeah, but like PC was the only one that ever got the love. Like the PS4, essentially, like imagine if it was a race, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 360 and the PC started the same day. And the 360 never got past the starting line, and the PC kept going. And then fast forward like a year or two later, the PS4 and the Xbox One come out, and they decided the PC version moved along, and they put the PS4 and Xbox 360 starting at the point where PC is currently at. Yeah. And then they never got past that point while PC just kept going. That's pretty much it.
They had the John Wick. They had John Wick on PS4, right?
Oh, okay, then it like got slightly past the starting line, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah, no, playing John Wick was great.
Come on.
I remember when it came out. I remember when it came out for some stupid fucking reason. Oh my god. I remember playing with my friends a whole bunch and it's just like, "Oh, you playing? I'm John Wick." And I just like you just start moving your gun around, especially cuz in that game, you guys remember where if you look up, you're just like this.
Oh yeah.
Walking around.
Mm-hmm.
So stupid.
Making a fucking 90-degree angle.
Yeah, like your whatever, like the the base of your spine is the only thing that bends. Everything else is just like
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope.
I hope they turn it around.
I hope they do. I hope because again, love Payday.
But they got like
a lot of work to do.
Yeah, especially like if you have a concurrent player account on Steam. But granted, it came out on Game Pass, so I'm sure they had a probably sizable role to play in that game's player base. But still, to be where they're at right now, and try and come back from that'd be a story to tell, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like to get back, somehow climb out of having like triple digit players. They got work to do.
Yeah. So, just to go back, the CEO who stepped down is Tobias Soergeren with the 2 dots over the O. So, I don't know how you say that. Yeah, so hopefully works out. Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, 2 games came out same day, right?
Yeah, same day, Friday. It was Friday, yeah.
Rise of Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin.
So if you playing Dragon's Dogma early, they allowed you to play on Steam. You could play the day early.
It came out Friday. Just to keep it on the same page.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. If you played it early. Well, when we get to Dragon's Dogma, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's going to be the big topic for today. So
remind me of the 21st thing when we come to it. But
Gotcha.
Rise of Ronin. Shit. What's the name? I know the name.
Team Ninja. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's what you were going.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Neo 1, 2.
Wolong.
Wolong. We had a lot of fun with Wolong. I love Neo 1. Neo 2 I haven't played, but I've seen people play.
Stranger
it.
in Paradise. Man.
I've tried
Stranger
both
Paradise.
Neos. It's not my cup of tea. But Wulong was great.
Yeah.
Loved it from start to finish. Played it 3 times. I played it 3 times.
Yeah. Rise of
get the
Ronin, I don't
DLC.
think any of us has played.
No,
So-
going to
but we're about to
probably
talk
start that up tomorrow. So we will see.
Yeah.
I'm away for a sale.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
Yeah.
you.
Like, I mean, as much as I do love their stuff, I don't know, it's just the way I am currently. I'll just wait for a sale.
What I
go
saw about it, I was watching what the hell is that name? They have a series, Watch Before You Buy.
Game ranks or
Game
whatever?
Ranks. Yeah, I was watching Game Ranks on that. Pretty much the whole review was in the first minute of the
30
video.
seconds?
He
Oh,
said,
okay, yeah.
combat is awesome. It's open world.
That's the gist of it. Like,
Yeah.
I told you guys, but before we started recording, I went through Metacritic, OpenCritic. The gist is like in the mid 70s for the scores. And yeah, it pretty much seems to be consensus is that it's an open world ass game, or open world game specifically.
Yeah.
But the combat's really tight, so that means that I'm just going to take a guess, and if I were to play it, I probably would say this is the best thing in the world. So there's that.
So my only thing about this game is the only reason I was even interested is because it had Sekiro type feel to it from what it looks at. Just that alone has me kind of like, you know what, I could see myself playing it.
Yeah.
The what scared me for the most part away from it was when people was like, oh, okay, this is like Neo. It's like, oh, please say that. I can't.
No, I
Like,
never
don't
thought
get
it
me
looked
wrong.
like that.
I'm not the biggest Neo fan.
No, it just
but,
ain't your cup of tea, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
not my
That's
cup
it.
of tea, but Wulong was, and if it's anything like Wulong and Sekiro, I'm all here for it. You know, like
Yeah, I look closer to that.
the only thing that really blew me is watching a couple of gameplay vids before it dropped, and was seeing the whole climb to the tower.
Yeah.
that
That's
kinda-
the biggest
That
gripe
kind of
I've
put a
been
bad
seeing
taste in my
online.
mouth for a moment. I was just like, no, please, not towers, anything
That's
but
a
that. But
Open
you know,
open world game.
yeah, it's just I got immediately frustrated, and I was just like, oh, please don't do that.
The thing
But
that I didn't see,
we'll see.
On the review is anything about the story. So it's like,
Oh, it's
I don't
probably
know-
dog shit. It's
Yeah.
probably dog
like
shit.
he didn't even mention it in the review. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
Like the way their stories always go is like it's always referencing some sort of historical figures. So these are real people that have powers now or some shit. So I'm assuming that the story somewhere along those lines, your character somehow fits into that, influencing the way things played out, but it still plays out the way things historically did. So if anything, it's actually a history game.
As most things, they give Lobu or whoever's in there.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy
that
ass
was
fucking abilities
Neo-
and powers. Yeah.
Neo. That's all Neo, especially
Mm-hmm.
like, well, both of them definitely, but
Well,
I will give it to them. In Neo 2, the story, I'm not going to say it was like, super good, but I like gave a shit eventually, just because the way that the story is kind of told, where you're like, you have the things that they have a character that's your boy. And once you get like one character in the game where you're like, oh, that's my guy right there, then that's like, that gets me in.
yeah.
you get me to care at least a bit.
You're watching Shogun, right, Tony?
Yes.
So Neo 1, you play as the white dude that came to Japan to
Blackthorn.
yeah. So that's the overarching story, but there's demons and shit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Because that, like, from Neo, I learned about the actual historical context of what they're basing off of, and that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The
Right.
story
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, like I like I remember learning this shit in like high school or something. I'm pretty sure it was high school
Yeah.
when they go through
Yeah.
feudal Japan, and I completely forgot like 99% of it. And then I went through Neo, like, this is way fucking better than class. You know?
Wow.
Good thing is that after doing it, I was just like, I went on Wikipedia and like I'm not gonna say Wikipedia is the source, but still
it's
it gives
source.
you the knowledge, it gives you the information, and playing Neo made me give a shit to look that stuff up and go, oh, that's very interesting. And like I got through Neo 1, I looked all that stuff up, like, oh, I wonder where that's cool. And then like
Amazing how video games do that to you.
yeah. And then like following that line, the history of it, I was like, oh man, I wonder if they're gonna go here with Neo 2, and it's exactly where they went with Neo 2.
It's the same thing for any like historic games like mythology and shit.
Yeah,
God of War, Persia, like
they
I
piqued your
actually had
interest.
it piqued your interest to go back and learn a little bit of history. So
Bro.
I've done that a couple.
I love Metal Gear Solid growing up, and through Metal Gear Solid I was like, oh, what are they talking about? I looked it up. When I was in high school, learning all the shit, the timeline of the Cold War and beyond, it's like, where have I already know this? Why am I learning this? Oh, wait.
Metal Gear Solid 3, yo.
So
Yeah.
but Rise of Ronin looks to be good. I'm gonna try to play it tomorrow. See, like, but again, everybody's taste in video games are always different.
Yeah,
i.e., this solid like Neo. I didn't really care for Neo. I love Sekiro. Love the. I really hope they're really good. I'm really excited just because of the combat from what.
That's really it.
Yeah, this is gonna be the bread and butter here to see if because I'm a sucker for any game that allows you to parry. Like I can't. It's almost one of those like, oh, I have the ability to deflect a person's fucking attack and make them pay for it. I love that. So you know what I mean, it boils down to strategy. So I hope that this game is really good.
Bro.
Yeah, that
I don't again, I only saw a review. I haven't seen the gameplay. My first when they showed gameplay on the Gamer Ranks video, it looked like a PS2 RPG or some shit. Like I don't know.
The graphics looked a little dated.
It's they were playing on a PS5, so I don't know if that was it or if just the costume they had. It looked.
So here, that's gonna caveat into our next game. But here's my thing. I try to give companies the benefit of the doubt when it comes to graphics because I've always been one of these people. Hey, stop worrying about the graphics and worry about the goddamn game. Stop worrying about the graphics and worry.
You've been lying to yourself the whole time.
I have, but I haven't. Because the only reason I say that is if we caveat into Dragon's Dogma, this game, I'm playing on a 4090 and I can't get it to not look like shit. It's hard. It's very hard to not get it to not look like shit. You get what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact I've played with the graphic settings. I've YouTubed. I've went on Reddit. I've done all of these things to see if I can update it to make it look, not like shit. So that's the easiest way to go about it. But the gameplay, I'm blown away by little things in the game. Give me like little things in the game that Solid, have you played?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I just got
blown
my
away
refund
by
today.
little. I'm blown away by little things in the game, i.e., the pawn system, i.e., basically. Just
man, I will wait to see how that plays out when I play the game with the pawns because them motherfuckers were dumb as shit.
So they do dumb shit from time to time, but they're a lot smarter than they. I've never played Dragon's Dogma 1,
yeah,
so I can't speak.
Man.
I can't speak for that. But on 2, they are a lot more on point when it comes to certain things, without giving away too much in the game. Just being able to have your pawn, the pawn system is really good. Being able to take one from somebody else's game, and for those that worry about, well, do my game always have to be online? The very first time you log into the game has to be online. After that, you no longer have to have the game online at all.
Okay.
You can basically play the game from start to finish using Capcom's pawns instead of using random people that's online, your friends list, whoever's on your
Okay.
friends on Steam or PlayStation 5. You do not need to use their pawns. You can use your own. They make it very seamless to be able to jump in, play. It explains a lot, but then they leave out a lot of minute details about combat so you can figure it out on your own.
Yeah, definitely looking at the combat, it definitely looks a lot like the first one. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
that's
It's a really good game in my opinion. I've put 20 hours in thus far. I'm still playing. Only ran into one time where the game kind of crashed on me. That's out of my 20 hours just once. One thing that you need to be mindful of if you're playing on Steam, you're gonna have a window issue. Basically, when you first boot up, it's gonna pop up into basically a small window. You need to hit Alt and Enter in order to expand the window.
okay. All right.
And something I haven't been able to fix yet, and maybe I need to research myself. Anytime one of your Steam friends come online, it tells you, hey, this person is playing this game, the fucking window closes back up. So then it's, bro, I would every time.
Yo,
So, I had to turn, like, thankfully I don't have that many friends on Steam. So I had to turn it off. Like the notifications.
Friends that have problems with the game, get
right,
off, get back on, get off, get back on. They
bro,
just
imagine you're right in the middle of a fucking
we
fight.
Steam friends?
And the screen, yo, don't do that. And the screen just fucking closes up right in the middle of a fucking fight.
Oh,
it's
you're
horrible.
done, bro. You're done. You're done. You're done. Your days
But
are numbered, man.
It is an amazing game. But the graphics, I don't know if they need to make an update, if they need to push out like,
Bro, it's optimized like dog shit. Bro.
it is really optimized like
Yeah.
doo water. It is.
They yeah.
But as far as like hacks going off, magic and everything else, the frames are not chugging and the game isn't like for me.
Okay, all right, okay.
So
Keep in mind,
Keep in
how
mind, I
much
have a
does
40.
your computer cost?
I know. Keep in mind, I have a 4090.
all right.
I know, but it hasn't chugged that much for me. But it has crashed once.
So
Just throwing that out there.
all of this said,
Right.
pretty good game. Everything after this point, I just want to preface: if you don't engage with what we're about to talk about, it's still a good game.
Yeah, at its core, it's a good game. It's like what's the I don't know. I feel like it's like if what I really need to think of a garbage analogy right now to describe this. It's the way it sounds like is that it's like a really really nice, like you took like a good, I don't know, like a chocolate and you put it in the middle and then you wrapped it in feces. Like that's where the game's
Shit.
surrounded by shit. The game,
Shit.
everything surrounding the game is shit.
Yes.
Okay, so
But the game itself is actually good. But the thing is that there's so many other things where they just decided to wrap it in shit before they sent it out.
Let me be clear though, and this is the reason I say this. Fist and Solid haven't played the game, coming from a place only being the only one that played yet. Another reason why I might like this game a little bit more than what I've never played Dragon's Dogma. Never. This is my first Dragon's Dogma game ever. So this is probably why I'm a little bit like, oh, I love this, because it brings me back Monster Hunter. This is Capcom. So everything about climbing on an enemy, to weapon customization, to
Exploration
upgrades
and
everything.
stuff,
It's all bringing me back to Monster Hunter, and that's probably why I'm giving this game just a little bit more of a
Leeway.
not, I wouldn't say a pass,
But you're
because the
being lenient.
gameplay is still good.
Yeah.
It's just the graphics. Like
well,
It's the
It is-
optimization because
and
it's right.
like
and the fucking microtransactions.
Yes,
Let's also
so-
not forget about
So
that.
I haven't ran into that yet. Let's talk about that,
as
because
we
y'all
go into
know
this
about that.
again, preference. We're probably going to shred it to pieces. Still a good game if you don't
I
interact
will-
with
and I will
the
buy it one day.
microtransactions.
And I will.
He said, "I
fucking-
will buy it one day."
I will buy it because I absolutely love Dragon's Dogma 1. And once again, looking at this game, it seems like it's just more of that. So I'm down for that. But
So
considering that it's kind of not optimized well, and then there's other shit. But go for it. Take it away.
So, I was watching a Gamer Ranks video,
Okay.
and I was watching the review. Not once did they say anything about microtransactions. Do you know why?
Well, you told us
do.
already, but go
yes,
for
yes,
it.
yes, yes, yes. I'll tell you. It's because they released all the microtransactions as a patch day one. So anybody that had an early review copy didn't have any microtransactions available to them or even in the game at all. So that seems like a scumbag tactic.
Oh, it just is. It is a scumbag tactic.
So the game's getting review bombed big time.
So hold on. We call it a scumbag tactic because they're putting it in afterwards, or we calling it a scumbag tactic because it's pay to win? Is it?
It's
the putting it in afterwards
Yes,
thing. They clearly hit it. They knew it was not good. They knew it was not good.
It wasn't
They
in any
knew
of
it
their
was gonna-
advertising.
Yeah.
They didn't show it to reviewers. They said nothing about it. It like at no point during the what do you call it? Advertisement up to it was it stated that they would have microtransactions for a single player game, right? So
It has anti-cheat.
yeah,
It has
It does have
anti-cheat in it.
Yeah, it has
Because you want to know
anti-cheat.
why? Because they fucking are selling you the ability to change the way your character looks.
yeah,
But you know, if it didn't have anti-cheat,
that would be mod. Yeah,
mod.
You're talking about transmogs, basically being able to show.
Just to be able to, let's say you made a cat dude and now you want them to look like a dude.
yep.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah.
You have to pay $2 to respec
Now,
your
I don't know-
character or something, or create a new
Yeah,
character.
but one thing I want to make clear, right? Since we, at least Snarf and I haven't played it, so and I don't know if Tony, if there's an ability in game to change the way that you look.
I haven't bothered. I've been so busy doing everything else. I
Okay.
have seen a salon and another place in the game to basically change your character, but I don't know specifically.
But is it like change a hairstyle or like?
So
you
there's
know,
a salon
like-
to change
like-
the hairstyle, and then there's something else in the game that allows you. I don't know. You know what? That's something. Maybe I need to look up something real quick. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
Because
real
I don't
fast.
want to. I don't want to like jump to too
Yeah.
many conclusions, and then it turns out that you can't do it in game. But even then, the problem is that because I got the Steam page open right now, so they're selling like makeshift jail key, escape from jail. So I guess if you get arrested, you can buy the key.
yeah, like
get out of
everything
jail.
that they offer here is not going
Yeah.
to break your game. It's going to it's going to let you skip shit.
Make it easier. It makes it easier. Yeah, and they have specifically port crystals, which are the
Okay.
fast
So-
travels.
So if I'm reading this right, it says you can edit your character's appearance with in-game currency earned through early quests within.
I think
Okay.
the actual money currency is to get a character to complete like your character slot. It's like making a new character in Final Fantasy online.
14.
There's an item that you can rush to buy. It's called the Art of Metamorphosis that allows you to go ahead and change your make and character, the make of your character, period. So basically your sex, you can change from
Okay,
male to
gotcha.
female, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it allows you to change from beast to human, etc., etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is like if this stuff is in the game, like or not if, like you could get this stuff in the game, which I was like kind of assuming, but the thing is that also selling it to you kind of like sours it a bit, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like if you're going to make it a process for people to get it and then just sell it for a single player game and then have anti-cheat on top of that, like
Okay.
we know what
So-
you're doing.
So I get what you're saying, and now that I'm reading a little bit deeper, in it's basically saying, hey, there are all of these things that they're offering you. You're able to get on like in the game, period, by just playing, right?
I think
it's no different. It's no
specifically-
different from the Helldivers approach.
I think
Basically-
specifically that warp crystal's not in the game though.
No,
What
it is,
warp
it is, it
crystals?
is,
Oh,
it is.
port crystals. Port crystals
If
is in the
it's
game.
like the
Everything
first one,
that
yeah,
I'm
that's in the game.
everything that I'm looking at on this list that they're making you pay for, and granted, it's like 99 cents, $2, $3. I can't even be upset at these prices. But
I can be
I'm
upset
just
at it
being real.
existing.
You could
I
be
could
upset that it exists,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's just like everything here I've gotten just by playing. I'm looking at it, and like you, if you really feel that strongly about it, go online, look up a guide, and find out where this fucking item is if you can't find it. You don't need to go ahead and pay $3, $2, 99 cents for a key or this or that just play the game. You'll get everything that you see there. But there are people, and from a business standpoint, I will never, I can't say never, but I can't really be too upset at someone who's going to take their money because they don't want to wait or play the game and be like, hey, I want this now. I want this now. So I don't feel like waiting. No, I don't feel like playing the game. So let me just go ahead and pay for it now. That, in my eyes, I get where people griping about microtransactions. And I feel like a company that does microtransactions, depending on what they're doing, is scummy. I get it. But this is not things that you can't get at your own pace. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can get everything on that list at your own.
So, yeah.
This is me being devil advocate.
No. I agree with you. I think the only issue that I see here is that they didn't advertise it. You
didn't advertise it and say anything.
You were under
true.
the assumption that this was not going to be a microtransaction game. There's going to be a single player experience.
Fair enough.
And then they pull that on you. It's just dishonest at the very least. And I'm fine with things that like, people work a 9 to 5. You don't have time to grind out a game. If you pay it a little extra currency, you can get a mod to go, further in the game, like the trans warp thing. And like that's like a microtransaction I'm cool with, especially on a single player game.
Right.
That doesn't seem too egregious, but again, it's just them
not saying anything.
Yeah.
I get it. It not having
it's you're doing something,
the illusion of choice.
Yeah, it's like you're doing something to be ashamed of, and you're just trying to slip it in, instead of being like, I'm not ashamed of this. This is what we're doing. Fuck you.
Fair enough. I get that gripe. Yeah, I can understand that.
On the other hand, if you're playing the game, and now, like, for example, I would say, like, Capcom has done this before, and I'll bring up in a Capcom example where they've done this shit blatantly, and obviously, Tony's favorite punching bag, Ubisoft. So if they put this stuff in the game, and you say, hey, it takes about 30 to 60 minutes for you to get this thing, but they sell it to you, it can be a thought in the back of your head where this only takes 30 minutes an hour for me to get, because they want to sell it to me when they could have taken 10 or 20.
So they design the game.
They might, but you don't know. We don't know whether or not they did that. I'm gonna lean towards maybe they didn't do that. But the thing is that I think it's easy to see how someone might feel how they artificially inflated a grind because they sell me the solution. Big example of this, Ubisoft Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where for a long time the game, or not for a long time, but there was a point in time, I think they eventually changed it to scale, where there was a point in the story where you had to go up 3 levels to get, or 4 levels for the next story quest. And the way that game's designed is that if something's just 1 or 2 levels higher than you get diddled. So you would have to grind side quests, and 2 or 3 levels in that game is not like a 1, 2, 3 process. It takes fucking forever, especially with side quests. And then in Capcom's own case, Devil May Cry 5, they sold red orbs, which is the currency in the game. And you're like, oh, that's whatever. Until, let's say, if you want to go, you want to get all the skills, right? You get all the stuff, it's cool. And then you see that each character has a skill that costs, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the scale of cost here to make it make sense, or make it easy to understand. So let's say a skill costs 4,000 orbs, 6,000 orbs, that kind of shit, right?
Right.
This one costs 3 million, and it's just a taunt. But it's oh, you want to have all, if you want to get all the skills, here's this one that costs 3 million, and it's 3 million for each character. So you got to spend 9 million orbs. That takes fucking time to grind.
Fair enough.
To put things in perspective, I'm playing through the game on hard or the hardest difficulty, and I might, by let's say I don't spend any just by playing through it, I don't have enough to get one of those.
Right. It's
So-
Gotcha.
it's like
So,
they're trying to
yeah.
manipulate. It's manipulative. It's
Yeah.
It's
where
manipulating people's time. That's
Yeah.
basically what it's going on.
Yeah,
They're manipulating people's time because everybody's not going to put in the time to do everything. Granted, when I'm looking at these items, right, got an explorer. Let's dissect the items for what I see. There's 21 of them. Nothing over 290 was 499 package. Nothing over $5, right? Most of it is 99 cents, $1.99, and
right.
in that order. Most of it being 99 cents for. Now, everything that I'm looking at, Explorer's Camping Kit, you can get from playing the game. You can kill random enemies, not even hard enemies. You can get that from killing enemies. The makeshift Gao key, if you explore, you'll find that. Port crystals. If you explore, you play around, you'll find those too. Do missions, you'll find that. Wake stones. Now, these wake stones that I'm looking at are 99 cents. Now, for people that don't know what wake stones is, wake stones are basically
A revive.
revive.
Yeah.
To get your character back on its feet. Right in the fight, if you was, let's say you're fighting something with 4 or 5 health bars. You get it down to the very last health bar. You die, right? If you die in that game, you can either choose to load back up from your last load, which you should be saving very often. You can either choose to load back up at your last load, which was at a campfire or wherever you chose to save, or choose to load back at the last load from an inn that you can choose to save, that you choose. By that standard, you can go back and fight the same enemy again, or you can use the wake stone. Wake stones, you need plenty of them to combine to make a whole wake stone. Like, not plenty. I think it's like 3 or 2. You combine them, they make a whole wake stone, and you're able to use that to get back on your feet right in the middle. These are 99 cents a pop.
Mm-hmm.
And you only get 1, 2. From what I'm looking at, they only allow you A, B, C, and E. Get 5 of them.
And these are relatively easy to
That's
get?
2.5 lives, I think. I think. I could be wrong. I can't
In-game,
remember.
are they relatively easy to get?
Which you said in game, are they what?
The
Are they easy to get in game? Excuse me.
I didn't hear you.
Are they easy to
easy-
get in-game?
Sorry.
In game, yes. For the most part, they're pretty easy to get in game. You'll find them from time to time. They're not like one of these things like you know how you kill something, you find gold. It's not that easy, but you'll find them from time to time. And if you don't use them and just load back from where you were, then you really have plenty of them. Like that and the rift crystals, which I'm seeing rift crystals are like $2.99 on here. They're 1,500 rift crystals, and the rift crystals you use to summon other people's pawns. You don't even need that. You'll gain rift crystals over playing. You use that to summon like high level pawns. I mean, like, let's say you're level 15, you can summon a level fucking 22 pawn. If you have like 1,000 rift crystals, you summon a level 22 pawn. But the problem is the pawn will never. The pawn is from somebody else's game. It'll never level up, because it's stuck at 22 from that person's game, but it'll help you, I guess, power level through content. But really, I don't see that, because you can still get fucked up and your pawn's still swinging its sword or whatever while you're dead. Like, so I really don't. I understand people's gripes with, okay, it was kind of sleazy to be like, hey, we're gonna throw you these microtransactions at the last minute. But these microtransactions are like
Benign.
very
Yeah, they're
benign.
not- they're
Like
not
the only
offensive.
one that I could see myself paying for at the very beginning, if I didn't want to grind 30 to 60 minutes, is the Art of Metamorphosis, and that's $1.99. Like, I would grind for that. Dragon's Dogma music and sound collection. Who the fuck cares? Like somebody does, but you know, but like that would be the only one that I would probably pay for, and it's $1.99, and I would pay for it just so I wouldn't have to restart a brand new character, because we all know you would have to restart a brand new character unless you just went 30 to 60 minutes into the game. And I'm believing they said 30 to 60 minutes because 60 minutes if you play out through all the dialogue to get to that point, 30 minutes if you just tap the fucking button because whatever, I just want to get to this point so I can change my character. But again, this is me being devil's advocate because I feel like, we've had this discussion with Helldivers, like at some point, and speaking on that, at some point, I paid the $10. I told my chat to look away. I paid the $10 to get some more super credits.
Oh no!
It got me.
It's different. It's different though, because Helldivers is an ongoing thing, right?
Right.
Like Helldivers is you get it,
and I didn't want to wait. That was on me.
Well, I'm not talking shit about that. You do you, okay?
Right. Okay.
Like, and it's an ongoing thing. So like, if you give money, like you buy the game, and then let's say you buy credits or whatever shit, like the battle pass or whatever it is, you're like, the game is ongoing, it's a live service, there's dynamic shit that happens. This is a single player game.
Fair enough, you're right. Yeah.
And so it's more just like, it feels, I think it's objectively scummy that they just like, boop, here you go, and then say anything about just dropped it in. But I think also this just does not belong in a single player experience. Like, this is not a new problem. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out in 2018, some shit, 2017.
2017.
The Devil May Cry 5 was 2019, and so seeing this shit.
Did they do that in Devil May Cry?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Red orbs, the currency in Devil May Cry 5.
The red orbs from them. Yeah. I remember.
And so, isn't Capcom's first time doing it? Gaming as a whole, this is not the first time seeing it. But the thing is, just like seeing this in a single player game, especially considering when you think about all the links they went to. Not only did they put this stuff in the game, but once again, they put DRM and anti-cheat in the fucking game too.
Just to keep
in
you
a
from
single player game.
Single
okay, let's be real. Does fucking DRM stop piracy from happening? Never. Fucking never. The first day one, it's almost always cracked. So all it ever does is inconvenience people who bought the game, and more importantly, it's just there so you can't. Let's be real. So you can't just mod in getting more materials, getting the items you want, all that kind of stuff. But they conveniently sell it to you. They have no problems. They have no problems loading the game up with anti-cheat and DRM.
When you say it like that, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and then selling you this shit. And the thing is that I think as a whole, whether or not it's easy to get in the game, I think it cheapens the experience knowing that even though they went through the trouble of making this like what I'm sure is a great game that's paced well and has if it's anything like the first game, if it's anything like most of the items I see on the list, I recognize from the first game. So if it's anything like that, it's a very well made game, and you could tell they gave a shit. But then slapping all this nonsense on top of it just is like
slapping all the nonsense on top of it, and then saying, "Hey, we're gonna put this anti-cheat in."
Yeah,
and you have to buy it if you really want it instead of being able to.
And
mod
it's like, what purpose? DRM's one thing. What purpose does anti-cheat serve in a single player game?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's ridiculous.
That's basically trying to. This is a slap in the face.
It's to not be able to mod it. That's the purpose it serves. That's why it's like, to me, like, the price is one thing, the types, how easy it is to get in the game is one thing, but it's the fact of the matter is that, like, they clearly put these hurdles in there that not only that, it's been proven consistently that de novo and all these shits make games run worse. So I'm sure that had a factor in how shitty of a PC port the game is, and also it just doesn't run properly on console anyway.
Here's my thing, and this is, again, devil's advocate, just business perspective. Did Dragon's Dogma, the very first one, have DLC?
No.
Okay.
They had they did have an update that added a whole bunch of shit, but not like.
Okay, so if they if they were to add DLC, and you were allowing these people, and this is a single player game, but it also has more. Grab and pump.
No.
But it's a single player game, and they wanted to add DLC later. They wanted to put other maps in, other area, etc., etc.
Yeah,
if I have my game open to you to do whatever you, that not breaking the experience. If you're starting to add mods and I added the D,
it's a single player game. It's my choice.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Skyrim, the big one, right?
Skyrim is a big one.
Yeah, I buy the. I mean, granted, once
You can play
got
the vanilla
past-
experience, or you can mod it and do whatever you want to.
Yeah, and aside from vanilla Skyrim, obviously every other version of Skyrim packaged in the DLCs.
So,
But with the original one, you can mod it. You get DLC. You
all right,
don't
so
like,
so
you know,
what do,
single
what do
player
we
game, it's
do
my
with
call.
that then? Because as we all know, if we know Capcom is good for doing this, you do realize when the time comes and Monster Hunter Wilds drops, they're gonna do the same.
Yeah, probably.
Are we
Well,
still gonna?
I don't.
Are
I
we
mean, who
standing up
knows?
on our deals and not buying the games?
Oh no, I'm gonna.
That-
So the
See
thing
what
is
I'm
that
saying? Like-
you don't buy the microtransactions. You don't buy the microtransactions.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
really-
enough. You stand on your
And we're
ideals
just
with
talking
that.
about
You
the
don't buy
hottest
the.
shit that's going on right now. Like, people are review
Right.
bombing this. I don't think they should be review bombing over this. It's still a good game, and we
Well,
preface
they're,
this.
they're also
no
review
matter-
bombing because it doesn't work for a lot of people.
Yeah, so
That's being like
yeah.
I saw the critical video where the game crashed on it. He said he played the game for like 2 hours and was only able to play for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And in the video, you see him constantly, like, he literally got to the part where it said Dragon's Dogma and it crashed. Like, and I don't mean in the cutscene, I mean in the main menu. He tried
Damn.
making his own character. The moment he made the guy slightly fat, the game crashed. Like,
yeah.
there was like constant, and you were even talking about it looks like shit. So you go on Reddit and all that kind of stuff to see like, okay, what's going on here. I think if you have to go to Reddit to figure out how to make this shit work properly,
How to optimize a game?
they,
Is bad.
yeah, they
It's
fucked
bad.
it up.
Yeah, it's bad. Because
So there's still
it's the environment. It turn the FPS up. You crank everything to max setting. It looks blue. You crank it down, it starts to clear up a little bit. You turn
Yeah,
off
but now
shaders.
it looks like fucking
Now
dog
it
ass.
looks like fucking baby vomit. Like it's
Yeah, it's
like the trees are hollow. There are certain aspects of the game where I'm just like, oh, this looks good, playing very well. And then there's certain aspects when I look out into the distance, I'm like a fucking Picasso painting. Like what the fuck is going on? So I take it with a grain of salt, but again, I'm playing on a 4090, so I understand when people
Yeah.
like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
your experience is going to be different from mine.
Yeah,
Again,
let them eat cake.
Yeah. It's like fucking, it's like complaining, like one dude's complaining about, flying and how much they hate going through airports and all that shit. And then you're the dude with the private jet. Like, I think it's okay.
Okay.
I think it's fine. I don't see the problem with flying. Sorry, so Snipes, you were talking about review bombing because of the microtransactions.
Yeah, well, and as you said, the performance of the game.
Yeah.
So again, we preface, just restating that we preface this, no matter what we're talking about here, it's still a good game.
Yeah. It's a shame to see like a good game be bogged down by this.
Because it's
type
also
of
like
stuff.
when you do this type of stuff, like we brought up, you brought up before, like, are you building games with the intent of having the fix be people pay for transactions? So like,
like
you make
are
a
these
quest
grinds
grindable.
Yeah.
Because of, hey, now you can pay for it, so it's better to pay for it than to just grind out the 36 hours that you need to. So it's just
it's taking advantage of people's I want it now, like immediate gratification. It's taking advantage of that because a lot of people don't. They want immediate. Hey, why should I wait if I can just have it now? And if it's going to cost me a bit, and I've been down that rabbit hole. Shit, y'all look at something that says $1.99. I'm like, that's $2, bro. And not knowing, these things add up over time. It does add up, bro. So it's just you don't take that leap.
And it's also like the nefarious nature of, hey, they're going to, they're going to slide the tip in now so they can slide the whole thing in later.
That's graphic. No Diddy is.
Yeah. So there's a nefarious air to this that's going on that I think a lot of people are picking up on, whether that be the intent or whatever. I think the way, based on past events, even if we do recognize it's in the nefarious event and put our foot down, I don't think it's going to fucking matter.
They ain't gonna change shit.
No,
Yeah.
they're still going to
get
do
what
it.
they want at the end.
And to be honest, video games with microtransactions is basically turn into game.
Yeah.
You may not see it like that, but it's not going away unless.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's in Resident Evil 4 also.
Right, and that's a single player game as well. Capcom has been doing this for a long time, and they're going to continue to do it. Hey, you want to see?
You guys remember on disc DLC?
Oh yeah.
The who?
Fucking Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That was great.
But see, my point is it's always going to be those guys. You'd be like, hey, you want to see Ada Wong in a sleazier outfit? Hey, pay $5.99.
Bro, they got mods for Monster Hunter to have your guy's dick be like a fucking a cannon, man.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking. I mean,
wow,
it's bad, but it's hilarious. Imagine like you're climbing a monster and you just have this like fucking anaconda just swinging around. Yo,
and then you wonder why they put anti-cheat on their product to keep people.
Who's a real monster now?
Get it off
dick
me.
swinging, bro. That's crazy.
So what are we playing?
I just finished Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, you did it.
You finished it. Let's
How
go.
many hours did it take?
I want hours.
You say 100?
No. Guess how many hours? Did you want to guess? You want to guess? Anybody got numbers?
106.
40?
No. 110.
It's the blink for me.
No, I mean, you just went from 106 to 40. I was like, that's a big discrepancy. 106. So
wait.
No,
The
111.
first game and second, or just the second game by itself?
The second game by itself. First game, I have
fucking Christ.
a lot of hours.
You gotta add. Remember what we talked about last week? He was spending a lot of time on bullshit.
But he was spending a lot of time on mini games, so that don't really count.
Well, I mean, it's still a game, you know.
I mean, it's the game.
It's still a game.
I would
It's the
call-
game, but
Yeah,
but
I would
you could
call
finish
Final
faster.
Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Final Fantasy the mini game. The game.
We subtract at least 5 to 10 hours of just the screen sitting still on pause too, right?
Hey, if you pause it and don't move after 30 seconds, the timer stops. In-game timer stops.
Really?
Next gen.
Okay.
Oh wow! Imagine.
The power of the PS5.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom. I came back. I saw the timer's on the bottom. It stopped, and I was like, "Oh, that's really good. I like that."
But I guess so. Those are actual hours you got there. Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually hours of legit gameplay.
All right. Let's go.
My non-spoiler review. I still think it's awesome. It was just so damn.
I watched you play a lot of those damn mini games. They was
yeah. Like, I think maybe you just need to play it, but it's just the mini games are good.
Fist.
Either
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play it. I definitely won't do the mini games like the
I'm
way you
probably
did.
not touching that
There's
game.
so many mini games. So many.
Probably not touching.
All right, speaking of mini games,
Yeah. I'm not. So that's everything I could do on normal. I did everything possible to do on normal for a first run through and a little bit end game stuff. The next thing is going to be doing all the hard challenges and hard mode. So that I'll do in a year because I'm not spending 110 hours on normal
done.
just to play the game over again. You do not have to do the world's shit again. So once you do it the first time, you don't need to do it again. So like
What does that mean?
there are
The world
towers.
shit.
There are fucking
Oh,
towers
okay.
to find the open world shit. You don't got to do
So
that.
are you excited for part 3?
Yeah. As soon as I finished, I was like, "Where's part 3?"
4 years, baby.
4 years, maybe.
Damn, you gotta wait 4 years for part 3?
The other
Probably.
one came out. It came out 4 years ago. So
They said something in an interview that that there might be less time in between the second and third game
Mike got it.
because of the engine that
Mike,
they're
got
using.
it.
It's like
Right.
they can
Whatever.
copy
It's still
and paste
gonna
a
be
bunch
some
of
time. Maybe it's 3 instead of 4.
shit. Should I even say how I felt about the ending without saying the ending, or is that a spoiler?
Just say if you liked it. After
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, and we call it a day.
Thumbs
that's
up.
It.
Go play.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
How about you, Fist? What are you playing?
Speaking of minigame, the game. I had a fucking premonition the other week or a week ago or some shit. I went to take a nap, and when I took a nap, I had a dream that I was playing Yakuza for some reason, and I was just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna play Yakuza. Yeah, that's been my whole week for the most part. When I've been playing, it's been Yakuza. I'm like, you know what? I've been sitting at Yakuza 6 for like 6 years or something.
I've been waiting for him to finish 6 so we can talk about it.
So I'm going to get to it, but the problem is that I want to play through every Yakuza game before it. So I've already played through 0, 1, and 2 prior to this, once again, this premonition.
Do the stories connect?
Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do. So I played through 0, 1, and 2 prior to, once again, my revelation or whatever. And then this week I got through Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, and I'm probably like 70 to 80%, maybe probably 70% of the way through Yakuza 5. So I'm doing it. But damn, is there a lot of... I am skipping every fucking minigame in there. Except in Yakuza 5, you could drive a taxi, and I've been doing taxi fares because I find it... It's
a good minigame. It's a good minigame.
No, I mean, they're so... that like, how to put... It's like dude soap operas. Like, that's how people see wrestling.
Yeah.
And
basically Yakuza. I need to see you play. I'm not a fan.
Oh, Yakuza is so. But the thing is that, like, from the outside, you'd be like, "What is this?" Because I'm just trying to walk from point A to point B, and like 10 dudes on the way there, are like, "Hey, you look like a foot," and then they just want to fuck me up for some reason, and then you just fight, and then another guy's like, "Hey, man, I'm a little down on my rent. Can I kick your ass so you can pay my rent for me?" And then like it's all sorts of. There's so much character, man. They have so much like. I don't know if the word is... I don't know if the best way to describe it is just say it's Japanese as fuck, but like... Yeah. But they just have so much character. Like even the... Like, you could tell they care about the side all the mini games and shit because, like, famously, or maybe not so much, I don't know, but like Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami 1, they have a thing called Pocket Racer.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like little RC cars on like Hot Wheels tracks that go in a circle. Like, like a... It's almost like a stock car racing, but little like automated cars, RC cars. And like your guy is a Yakuza and he's, tough guy, cool man. But when he loses, the game goes to a cut to you just like, like that. It's fucking great. Whenever you could go to the arcade and you could play Outrun. If you guys remember that, like that arcade game where you're driving a car and it's just constantly moving forward. You have to like just try and go forward as fast as possible. Or you have to try and go as far as you possibly can. Whenever he gets in the car, the fucking camera zooms out. You hear it go whirl and speed lines go around the fucking thing. Like it's just
over
little touches like
it's
just little touches like that where you tell they fucking I don't know. It's like they care. And then the story is like it's always ridiculous. It's like dude soap operas. You'll always be able to guess a plot twist, but the problem is that there's 7 of them. so you can't and at least one of them is guaranteed to come from fucking nowhere. It's really good.
You're having a good time with it.
Yeah, the only problem I have with the story is that they have a plot device called turning your back on the guy, or turning your back to the guy who has a gun. It's like you'll do a boss fight where a guy clearly has a gun. He's been shooting at you. You kick his ass, but your guy never kills anyone. So you just kick the shit out of him. He goes unconscious. You're like, ha ha ha, or you save your buddies, and everyone turns their back to the guy. Sorry, I gotta make sure I talk to the microphone. Everybody turns their back to the guy that they know has a gun, and you did not kill him. So what winds up happening is you're there making sure everyone's okay, and then he's like, and guess what? The guy is not unconscious, pulls out the gun, and I've seen at least 2 fucking people die because of that fucking nonsense. 2 people died. There's 2 people who have died because of that. That's not counting all the people who got shot but didn't die because of that. And I'm like, this is lame ass plot device. I'm sick of this bullshit happening. How stupid? Like, yeah, I remember when I lost my friend to the guy who I thought I was unconscious, but he shot him. And somehow I don't wisen up to, hey, I kicked this guy's ass. Let's get the fucking gun away from him, or like step on his hand or some shit. No, never. Tony, you're playing Dragon's Dogma, right?
I love how we transitioned into that. Yeah, but you guys have already heard me talk about Dragon's Dogma. I've been enjoying it from start to finish. Little aspects of the game make me just not the graphics, little aspects of the games with the pawns. Help me. The AI. Yeah. So with that being said, the game is not perfect in any way, shape, or form. For me, I'm really enjoying it. I guess again, it's giving me that Monster Hunter. This is basically a new Monster Hunter feel for me, just because there is no new Monster Hunter that I'm wanting to play, other than Wilds when it drops. I've been really enjoying it. I think other people will. The story. Let's talk about the story.
Ass.
It is. The story's kind of.
Yo, Capcom can't.
They can't tell a
captivating story. They could tell some solid, enjoyable
the only ones
but...
that has been so kind of captivating was Resident Evil, and those was out. Like one virus went from this hand to that hand. The virus that
last week. It's the alphabet virus, man.
Yeah, it's the T, the A, the B, the C, the D. But they can't tell a story, but they try. And it's just
like you can enjoy the Resident Evil stories, but in terms of being like the example I'll use is something like the recent God of War games.
Yeah, you can't get like they can't tell no story like that.
Never. Like they have their own, you know.
Capcom could never. But they have their own thing. Their combat. Their combat for the most part does well in their video games for the most part. I'm enjoying the game. Do I think it's worth what is it, $70 price tag? $60 price tag? Is it $59?
It's $70 bucks.
I think it's $70. Can't keep up. $70 price tag. No bragging. Got a wife. But so with that being said, do I think you should pay $70? It's a single player game. Anytime I hear about a single player game and people I asked them, like, is there replay value in it? I can't make that decision. Dude,
you only have one save file.
Yeah. It has to be something. It has to be something that you're really passionate about to buy for $70. God of War, I was really passionate about. I didn't want to wait. And in this day and age, it's sad to say, but if you don't play a game when it first drops, you get spoiled to fucking death, and they will ruin everything for you.
But this game thankfully has a
shit story, so you don't have to worry about it. So it's just okay. But you know, I say wait for a sale. That's just me. I play day ones. You don't have to. So you know, I say wait for a sale. Wait for it to drop in price. Wait for them to fix some of this fucking.
Yeah, that's really the main thing. It's
graphic bullshit.
Wait till it's playable for you and you're not investing $2 G's into a computer that can actually play it.
Not even 2. That's
damn.
That's not a game, but it's actually a $2,007 game.
Not $2,000, bro. His shit was like that'd be like $4,000.
Oh yeah,
It's a $4,000.
Yeah, I got a $4,000 computer. Game looks like ass, and I had to go on Reddit to figure out how to make it look like less ass, and it still looks like ass.
Unfortunately, I had to do some research for the graphics. Other than that, I think the game is good for me. I actually like it. Give it a shot if you want. If not, you know, don't believe that if it's being review bombed for the.
Yeah, no, never believe in the review bombs. That's just people like there's something to be mad about here, but to the extent I never get the point of it. But
other than that, game's good. I give it about graphics, the problems.
Okay, all right. I mean, I would say I haven't played it, but To me, it'd probably be worse.
Gameplay wise, about a 7
Yeah.
to 8. Graphics, if we compiling everything, that's safe medium, about a 6 or 7.
Like, I would just guess, for me personally, if it worked, if the game worked, like if the technical shit, there were no technical issues.
8 out
From
of 8.
what I no, I mean I haven't played it. I'm just saying for me, I would assume I think it'd be worth the $70. If it's like the first one, if it's like the first game, to me it'd be worth the $70 if it worked, but it don't work.
I'm actually not upset that I paid $70 for this game. I'm actually enjoying myself. We've paid $70 for games, boys, that we both know were single player games. We're smoking. that was not worth
$20 for that. I paid $20 for that. Just saying.
I paid $70, and it was not worth it at all. It was uber trash. But that's neither here nor there. I'm so sorry.
Begging to
man, I'm not gonna lie, you.
Okay.
You triggered me with that pawn shit, man. In Dragon's Dogma 1, there's this part where you fight a Cyclops, and it's along this like cliff path or something, you know. So like on the right hand side is mountain wall, on the left hand side is big fall. So I'm going, and I got my buddy spawn with me, and he goes, "Oh, sir, go for the eye," and then they just fucking walk right off the side of the cliff as they're saying that. I'm like, bro, your dumbass pawn just had fucking like mental issues and went off the side, man. And so then he was playing the game, and my guy did the same shit to him, where he's just like, "Sir, go for the eye," and then just fucking killed themselves.
Walks
It's
right
like,
off, right.
Bro, they were dumb as shit. It was so.
It's gotten better. They're not that bad, but they can.
You literally just said they killed themselves.
No. It happens from time. It doesn't happen very often though. And it really depends on you. I had to get smart about saying wait to my pawns so they don't just walk.
Why do you have to accommodate for their stupidity? It's like, bro, I should trust you to not walk off the side of a mountain.
Because sometimes you fall, you slide down the side of a mountain, right? And they look at you and you slide down and you make it. So they're just looking like,
yo,
I think I could do this.
Yo, spider, yo, toboggan, and they just go off.
Now, imagine I was walking with you. I cross the street, the light turns red, and you're on the other side of the crosswalk. I expect you to wait, and I'll wait on the other side, and we'll look at each other while the light changes. Not for you to just walk straight into traffic to get
hit by a car, and then it's his fault.
Yeah,
like, yo, why'd you tell me I was gonna get hit by a car? It's just like, fuck you, bro. Why'd you tell me falling off the side of a mountain would kill me? It's just, do I have to? Like, that's yeah. But anyway, well,
but I've been having fun with it. Do I think I'll go back and play it again after this? I can't say yet. Give me more time. Give me a little bit more time to play, and I could probably give you a great answer on that. Like if does it have replay value?
If it has a new game plus, that will be the make or break. But the thing is that it depends on how they do it, because they royally fucked it up in the first game. New Game Plus was the dumbest shit ever. All it did was you play through the game again, which sounds like, which you're like, oh yeah, cool. No changes.
Done.
So you get to the end of the game, you're level 60 something, but you want to do the new content they added with the Dark Arisen thing, which you have to be like max level to be able to do that shit. So you're like, cool, I'm going to play through the game again on hard, on New Game Plus, and by the end of it, then I'll be able to do the thing, but also have a nice challenge along the way. No, when you put it on hard, it's hard relative to you starting a new game. So you show up, you're level 60, you're just one-shotting everybody for almost the whole game. I'm like, who the fuck thought this was a good idea? So if they did that better, I hope they did.
Maybe.
But whatever. But I think that wraps it up.
But
for
yeah,
us, right?
that's what I'm playing.
Yeah. Right. So Snarf, where can they find you?
Here.
He's been found yet again.
We're gonna change that here.
Where can they find you, Tony?
They can find me at HeyyyyyTony with 5 Y's at Twitch and here.
Fantastic.
Nerd Podcast.
And where can they find you, Fist?
Here. And FistTruck on YouTube and FistTruck TV, where one day I will upload another video.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is the Mighty Nerd, and we are the Mighty Nerd. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.